love to go a blundering while leading our attack. As I do, I love to sing while driving my hunchback. I love to fight in city squares, throwing all I see. And when the enemy appears, how happy I will be. Kills for me, look for all, kills for me. Think of all the combat salvage kills for me. Look for all, please come by my hunchback. When 100-tonners threaten me and try to strike me down, they soon find I will not flee auto cannon rounds. Kills for me, look for all, kills for me. Think of all the combat salvage kills for me. Look for all, please come by my hunchback. I fought my share of enemies and never once in fear. The auto cannon speaks for me, and then they disappear. So bring your best mechs down to me, your pilots I will burn. And when you run away from here, here's hoping you will learn. Kills for me, look for all, kills for me. Think of all the combat salvage kills for me. Look for all, please come by my hunchback. The hunchback is a doctrine choice, and if you think that's wrong, then why is it you're listening to our own marching song? Kills for me, look for all, kills for me. Think of all the combat salvage kills for me. Look for all, please come by my hunchback.
All right there. Hey there, ladies and germs. It is I, the stormiest of songs. Joining me today is Cookie Mama. Some others might join us later. Taking a short break today from Star Wars, just because I wanted to actually finish working on this song we started a few weeks ago on Crispy's channel. Say hi, Cookie Mama.
Hi, Cookie Mama. I mean, hello. How are y'all doing? Haha.
Say hi, Cookie Mama. Let's see.
Hi, Cookie Mama.
Yep. Okay, your volume is good. You'll checking stream there.
I see little inky bits. I wanted to talk to you, and this would be an okay time to do it. I've actually started working with MuseScore.
Mm-hmm.
And they actually have a keyboard thing at the bottom that you can play and plink the notes in, which I love that.
Yeah.
You know, and yeah, if you have a MIDI, you can do all that, but I don't have one, I don't have one, right now, but
Yeah.
I'm trying to get at least one of my songs down on the papers.
Hey there, Castus. Hey there, True Cicero. Hey there, Pariah Wolfen. And
it's Peoples.
All the other people here. So yeah, which program did you say it was?
MuseScore.
Okay, that one I've not used yet. I have a friend that uses.
It's oh man, the reason I got into it is because I was trying to use Sibelius, right? I got a Yoho copy back in the day because my friend gave it to me.
Yeah.
And it it's an actual pain in the ass to use. And so I got to watching this guy, Tanner Cruel,
Hmm.
and he he um he had this video, and he was crazy, and I watched another person recently, and the reason I thought of this, but because he was crazy about it, and he's kind of ranting on it, and he's this Irish guy, and he's sitting there ranting about this music software, and so I was laughing my butt off,
Yeah.
right? And so then when he started working with the Muse Hub guys and doing Muse score, and he rewrote, basically he and a couple other guys rewrote the whole thing to
Mhm.
make it more usable,
Yeah.
and so it's much nicer, but it's actual staves and such instead of
Yeah.
you know
Well, that's good.
so
Like, were you just kind of wanting to learn how to do music, or?
oh no, I played piano for 10, 11 years,
That's
so
right.
I know, and
You had mentioned
yeah.
that before.
Yeah.
It's hard
and
to
I
keep
sing in
track.
the
'Cause it's like-
choir, and I've played bells, and I played clarinet for a very short while, and
Yeah.
I is a music person, and I've written lyrics. In fact, I've written some rap lyrics that I may set some of Duck's music to.
Ooh.
Yeah, so that's another thing I may do,
Yeah.
but that's more an Audacity thing than a Muse score thing, I think.
I may need to. You know what? I'm gonna write a note down to myself because I'm in the middle of writing a musical right now, so I am also trying to keep track of everyone I know who sings because this story has kind of a big
yes.
cast.
I am an alto, low
Alto. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, alto/tenor, depending on the.
So to answer your question, Castus, this was sort of just for the gits and chiggles of it while I was streaming, kind of filling for Crispy a few weeks ago. But one thing I realize is the time between all of my music streams has always been so distant, I've never actually finished one of these songs on stream. And I'm like, this song's most of the way written, so now I'm just, like, figuring out what to do with the rest of it. So we're gonna try to finish this today. But yeah, when I started writing this, I told Crispy, like, this is gonna be the Storm Song putting his least mental effort in possible, which means, mentally speaking, somehow when I put my minimal mental effort in, the music I write ends up being Gundam music.
Your stream schedule. Your stream schedule has fallen off a cliff.
Samurai! The foolish samurai warrior!
Oh, he's got a labu on you.
Ooh. Anger
That's
storm
hilarious.
noises.
That's hilarious. Oh my goodness. But yeah, I'll have to share some of my rap with you. Some of it I can't think. Well, I could share it with you privately, but it's at least it wasn't a double clef. Double clefs are a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
But some of it's political stuff, so I can't share it with Bart,
yeah.
whatever. But
That's
I
understandable.
could share it with you
Yeah.
because you wouldn't mind. You'd be like, "What, Cookie? Your brain, whatever," and then you just go on.
Yeah.
Anyway, I need to write more. Ooh, maybe that's what I could do. I could share you my teacher rap.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Today we had talked about doing a tea time with teachers thing in the Legion, and I had failed to understand that we weren't talking about a stream, and so I got all like eager and excited to plan one, and then like kind of failed to manifest people.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And
but we
people's summers are so heckin' busy anyway sometimes.
yeah. But on to a previous point about, is this professional or for recreation? Well, anytime I do music, I treat it professionally, even if it's for gits and chiggles.
Hi, boys.
I can be your weirdo baby.
Oh my god.
I can sing you many memes.
Don't listen to that harpy.
I have changed my avatar, by the way, for a bit. I don't know if I'll keep it, but it's AI generated, so I know Crispy's gonna yell at me. But I was trying to do something to annoy somebody, and yeah, it turned out really well. It's a cute little boy in a suit with a leaf on his head.
Oh, that's adorable. Also, doing something to annoy somebody is like the second best reason, the first being technical reasons.
Right?
The best kind of reasons.
How is
So how-
Rail and Andy?
Rail is good. Rail is waiting on job stuff.
Fun
What about you?
Yes.
I'm okay. It's been an interesting week. We had our big event last weekend, and it didn't go as well as we'd hoped because there were like 4 other things going on in town, and so nobody came, You know?
Unfortunate.
or very few people came, I should say. But yeah. How's Andy?
Okay, just got off work and then played some Baldur's Gate, and now I'm here.
Yay!
Yes, me and Andy have been having a good time playing some Baldur's Gate with some other friends. Despite the fact that at one point we got Rocks Fall, Everyone Dies.
Rocks fall, everyone dies. I can't wait till the Steam sale goes on. Hopefully that'll go on sale. That's one of the ones I'm thinking about maybe at some point.
I will 110% play with you, Cookie.
That would be funny. I've seen, like, I know the story because I sat there and watched. What's their butts? Mad Ducks and a couple friends play.
I mean, lots of people play.
Yeah.
Given how many
But-
D&D players there are in the BPL and the Ox.
But
Aw,
at some point,
yeah.
it may be a while, but that might be one to get someday.
Yeah.
I'm
So, Rail, you will be happy to know that this song does in fact have a Sawano drop in it.
Yes!
Oh, wait, what?
What? What were you asking, Cookie?
No, I'm looking at something right now.
Ah, okay.
I can't spell.
So I caught a little bit of the stream before we actually joined, and if I heard correctly, your music production method is turn brain off, apply beeps and boops.
At least when I, at the moment, that's what I'm doing. When I turn brain off to write song, rather than turn brain on to write song, then I end up writing Gundam music by accident.
Boots, bats, boots, bats, boots, bats, boots, bats.
But yeah, that's just kind of a reflection of, we all sort of repeat the stuff we gather in childhood, and Gundam was a lot of my childhood.
Do na mi ro do mi na me no ni ro re boo.
That's the wrong one.
I'm
That's
more likely.
Evangelion.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
more likely to have the whole Pachelbel canon inspired stuff.
Yeah.
The four chords.
The question, though, is with Gundam music is which Gundam? Because there's a large difference between, like, just one beat, communication. I don't know how to do that.
So, like, if I were to turn off all the other instruments right now, and you were just to hear the piano that I wrote for this,
That is 100% communication. Okay, Gundam Wing.
Yeah, but then like I suddenly put the other instruments in. It sounds a little different, but you can still feel that this is definitely
The
anime
winginess.
mecha music. And of course, drums and such aren't in yet, but
I love it. That's great.
It's a little bit like Castlevania music.
yeah. Well, and that's the other early inspirations of mine were like Super Nintendo soundtracks.
Yeah.
And you get in the robots and calling stuff.
Yes.
I am not an Ava fan. I am a massive Gurren Lagann fan, though. I've said it on stream before, but it always bears repeating. Ava is a study in ultimate pessimism. Gurren Lagann is a study in ultimate optimism.
Yeah, man, the ending of that series really was optimism for me, man. Stares daggers at Grail.
I mean, the whole theme of the series could also be summed up as, hello, cruel, uncaring universe. Meet the indomitable human spirit. Get wrecked.
Yeah. That's some of the best stories, though.
Oh, yeah, no,
Right?
I love humanity fuck yeah stories.
Like, you know that against all odds that, there's this crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm up for like until I knew what the term was, I was always confused because I'm like, I like grimdark, but I want there to be hope, and then I would later learn what noble dark was. And I was like, like the universe is horrible, but we're badasses.
I mean, yeah, Noble Dark and, what is it? Solar Punk is one of my other favorite sci-fi genre.
See, now my brain is trying to categorize the classic female written literature as in those terms.
Like grimdark
Like,
would be
no,
Shakespeare, I would say.
No, Grimdark is Wuthering Heights.
Oh yeah.
Because that shit's. Yeah. I love you, I love you, I love you. Okay, everybody does, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I don't know why, but that just popped into my head. If you were on that Titanic, would you let Leo on the boat?
Would I let Leo in the boat?
Or on the door?
Maybe, probably, but it's like, wasn't he trying to, I don't know.
Falling stuff, Ava is not stompy robots. Ava is like the definition of, like, weird, fast, people-moving robots. It is not stompy.
Technically,
really.
aren't they like cyborgs?
Yeah, they're basically
cyborgs.
they're basically kaiju in power armor. Yes. I don't feel bad about spoiling Eva. It's an old enough show.
If you want a giant robot show that doesn't have so much of like horrors of war, Ars Magica is a nice one to look up. It is kind of fantasy based, but still.
This slaps, Storm.
Oh, this is great.
Hello, gentlemen.
It's a paladin.
Hi, Paladin.
All full of paladin
Hello.
goodness.
Everyone say hi to Cookie.
Hi, Cookie Mama.
Hi, Cookie.
I'm sorry. Every time I see you in the chat, I'm just like, everyone say hi to Cookie.
I know. You have had it. You've had it programmed into base programming at this point.
Yep. Give me just a second. I'm firing up everything because I was spending some time with my older brother. We were trying that game, Gray Zone Warfare.
Cool. The Titanic was the weak sibling. It couldn't deal with a little shaved ice. Olympic saw a U-boat and said ramming speed. Yeah. Hey, Silicone.
And isn't the Titanic one of those cases of so many things had to go wrong that it's basically just God saying "fuck you" in particular?
Well, I would say there was definitely the part about the sulfur high iron was kind of the perfect example of it only took one thing going wrong for that ship to sink, and then all the things went wrong.
Ooh.
Cascading failures are fun.
I've never heard that it was high in sulfur content.
Yeah, the iron was bad. Like,
Huh.
Like the iron that they used to make it.
Well, it was a British ship instead of Japanese ship, so it wasn't folded 1,000 times.
Hold on.
Well,
Hold on
but its sister ships didn't have that problem, did it?
I don't believe they
Olympic
did.
and-
No, I believe it had something to do with the specific ship or shipment of iron that they were using.
Oh.
So-
Okay.
There is a conspiracy theory that it wasn't the Titanic that sunk, it was the Olympic. But they switched the names and they wanted to get the insurance on it.
Huh.
Samurai says the quality in steel was not beef. Okay. What was?
By all means, I'm not the biggest expert on the history of it. I'm just reciting what I've heard.
I mean,
Qualifier. Although I am a historian to some degree, Titanic was not my territory.
I mean, you do have the whole issue of it rammed into a giant ice ball.
Well, yeah, that is going to do it.
The Royal Navy tested the steel and it was fine. Okay.
And the
So
funny
was
thing
it
about what
the-
Rail said was there was the thing where someone says that happens when you see a boat that can't be sunk by God.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, there
Remember,
is that
kids-
whole... Yeah.
Never name your boat anything that could be seen as a challenge to the ocean.
Right.
That's the
Poseidon
Poseidon.
doesn't like that.
Yeah.
And I took
Yeah.
exception to that.
Yeah. Besides,
Oh, it's funny. We had this huge storm the other day, and my daughter goes, "Okay, Zeus." It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
But no, Storm, speaking of you being a historian, we need a status update.
It's still gone, my dudes.
What? What is
The daily update on the status of the Roman Empire.
Oh man!
Hold on.
So I've got a couple dad jokes ready.
Let's hear 'em.
What did the magnet say to the other magnet?
What?
I find you very attractive.
There you go.
Aha!
If you ever get cold, just stand in a corner for a little bit. They're usually about 90 degrees.
Beautiful.
Oh, that's been great. So we moved north with our move a couple months ago. And where we used to live is currently at like 90-something degrees with the same amount of humidity.
Soup.
Yes, and now we're here at like 80 degrees and like 60% humidity. I'm like, yes.
And we're at, what are we at today? We're at 85 degrees, and we actually may have somewhat of a high humidity because we've been having floods. Or not floods, but there's a flood watch. There's but lots of rain. High rain. Anyway.
Yeah, we
That's
got
it.
You know how it is in the desert when you get rain? The ground's like, dude, what's this?
So
I
the
don't know what
state,
to do with this.
the state we lived in before was Missouri, and like less than a month after we move out of the state, it just gets slammed with tornadoes, and we're like, well, bullet dodged.
Yeah. Okay, so Samurai says the watertight bulkheads didn't extend high enough through the decks D and E, and the particular the hole made contact with the ice allowed for a larger hole. Either of those factors, and Titanic either limps into port or is evacuated in a painstakingly slow process over it. So there were two. So the bulkheads didn't go up high, and the hole contacted with the ice. Okay.
Yeah.
So there were two separate things. That makes sense.
Oh,
Essentially, you had a design flaw, but it had to go off in a very specific way to be a real problem.
And guess what? It was.
yeah.
And this is how OSHA manuals are written.
Well, thank you for correcting that, UNC, because again, that is not really my area of historical knowledge. Always remember, kids, don't just repeat what you hear.
Or at least, repeat with the caveat of, and I'm not an expert on this. This is just what I've heard. Feel free to correct me.
And Pariah wants to know if your joke was in Kelvin.
I am not the scientist. I am not the scientist in my family. I don't operate in Kelvin.
Samurai says, I have a master's in maritime history. This stream seems to be the one place I get to put it in practice.
By all
I'll be
means.
honest. I read that as this stream
you're
seems to
welcome.
be the one piece I get to put it in practice.
There you go.
As we follow the red line of us talking about dumb stuff.
So I got to have one of those moments where I'm running a game for some guys at our synagogue, and one of them understands Japanese just enough to get a pun in a character's name, and I think Rail will appreciate this being a One Piece fan, that one of the characters is named Onigiri. And somebody looked it up, and of course the thing they found was Ogre Slayer, and they okay, that's cool, but the other guy knew that the double entendre was that his name was essentially Jelly Donut. Or rice ball.
Okay. An onigiri is not a jelly donut.
It's a rice ball, but I'm saying, for cultural context, it's the equivalent.
It is not equivalent to a jelly donut.
Not equivalent in what it is, or just in its purpose. It's a sweet thing people want to eat.
They're usually not sweet.
Okay, a yummy thing people want to eat.
It's like a snack. It would almost be closer to like a rice chicken nugget.
Okay, a rice chicken nugget.
Right?
Because usually you put like chicken nuggets and such, or chicken in them and such. Yes, love. I'm aware of the meme.
Are we talking about the Brock, I love jelly donuts meme?
Yes, it's the Brock, the 4 kids dub of Pokemon turning the rice balls into jelly donuts.
Those
I
were
have
some
been-
delicious looking jelly donuts, guys.
I have been handed an Icarus. I am petting an Icarus.
Fox had my cat earlier. My cat has now disappeared. Oh, he's in his bed.
Cat is now catting. Our cat is somewhere.
One Piece isn't until August, says Samurai.
What do you mean until August? Now I'm curious.
Is that when
I think
season
he's
2 is
talking
dropping?
Yeah, the live action season 2.
Okay.
I will state One Piece is one of the very, very few anime where I will state just watch the live action if you've never gotten into One Piece. It is actually a good entry point.
Oh,
Oh, Lego Going Merry.
Lego.
Oh, shoot.
I'm about to be abandoned. Bye, buddy.
Oh, that's not even a bad price. $140 for the full Going Merry? With what crew members does it have? Let's see, an Usopp, Zoro, Sanji. So pre-Grand Line. That's dope. It's a shame I'm poor right now.
You did?
Okay, so I'm gonna make a quick save because you always save, and actually I should save as a new version because it's a new day.
Oh god. So, Pariah Wolfen mentioning Sailor Moon reminded me of a post I saw yesterday.
BRB, I'm going to make a quick bio break.
Okay. We will entertain chat with stories of people doing dumb stuff involving anime.
Dun, 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 dun.
I know they have the anime where they have like guys dressed as the Sailor Scouts and like Sailor Girl uniforms.
Yeah.
But I kind of want to see an anime where it's like sailors, like they're magical sailors, but they're in sailor suits, like the old sailor suits with the long bell-bottom jeans and such. And, like,
Yeah.
the ribbon.
So, there was a post that I saw online that was someone who had a Edward Elric profile image, and his username was some variation of Edward Elric, which is Full Metal Alchemist for those who don't know. And he was, and his the line he said was, "Women can't make good manga."
Oh,
Ladies and gentlemen, Full Metal Alchemist was written by a woman.
oh,
That dude just wants to get lit on fire.
That happens more often than not.
oh, that's
It's
yeah.
a special kind of dumb.
Some of my favorite manga and anime was written by women. You don't say it, Tsururai and Ram the Half, and I don't know much about Ram the Half, but Inuyasha was written by the same lady.
Yep. That's always fun as Ranma 1/2 because it's the progenitor of like the harem style anime. And it was written by a lady.
Was oh gosh, what was that stupid anime with the boy with all the Tenchu or whatever? You remember that one with
Tenchi
all the,
Genji Muyo.
was that
Oh, God.
was that written by a guy or a girl?
That one I'm pretty sure was a guy.
Okay,
Let me double check.
because that was kind of an interesting one.
Yeah, that was written by Masaki Kajishima, which is
Irish
weird. I mean, one of my favorite anime of all time, Ouran High School Host Club, was written by a lady.
Nice.
There's debauchery going on here. Debauchery!
Let's see. I'm trying to remember my own chord progression here. What was I doing? Beans.
Right? Oh, I know. I started up a game I haven't played in a while. I'm like, what was the key for this again?
C. Okay, so that's a C chord.
Storm accidentally entered both his bladder and his brain. Emptied, not entered. God.
While I was in the bathroom, I thought of the dumbest name for this song, and unless I think up a better one, it's the acting name for this song.
What's
Ready
the
for
actual
it?
name of this song?
Let's hear it.
The Dance of the Sugar Plum Atlas.
I can
I'm
see an
ready
Atlas.
for it.
Remember the ballerina Atlas? Is
Yeah.
that one?
Yep.
There's not enough. Oh gosh. No.
Kind of oompa
Oompa and
or processional kind of feel. Dun, dun. Yeah.
Well, with the Atlas, I'm thinking about that.
Kind of the German oompa feel.
Yes, the air squish.
Dance of the Sugar Plum Highlander.
The keyboard squish thingy. I'm not very good.
Accordion.
That one.
Like, if we were going to involve accordion, I would bring Maestro into this right away.
Sorry, guys, I couldn't remember the word.
It's okay.
You're fine.
As soon as you said squish piano, my brain was like, wait, what? No, I know what she means.
I have never thought of an accordion as a squish piano, but it is entirely valid.
Food porridge says cookie dough Polka the bear.
My God.
Fox wants to know what your feelings are on the hurdy-gurdy.
I love hurdy-gurdy.
Dude,
Honey Storm loves the
hurdy-gurdy's so
hurdy-gurdy.
fire.
Like, it's that shit you use for the evil wizard weed music.
Which has the most superior squish.
Yes.
Oh, which has the better squish, the hurdy-gurdy or the accordion?
You see, not being a player of either, I cannot say that one.
It's the PowerPoint list.
Okay, so let's see.
For Fox, apparently the hurdy-gurdy has the superior squish.
Understandable and acceptable,
Because
even.
it's squish and twist.
No, because it's squish and twist.
Oh my.
Yeah, that sounds like a night on the town, the squish and twist.
Right? Well, it is called the hurdy-gurdy.
Show you what squish really is.
Night Heist of the Quiet Spiders, this guy.
Launch of the Kodiak. Ooh! Flight of the Cicadas.
That could work.
Really loud, long.
It's a Battletech reference, huh? Context.
You live through it. Back in March.
I had an internet friend that lived in the Midwest, and he was deathly afraid of cicadas.
Oh, he must have had a bad time last year
Oh,
with all the cicadas. Like, literally, we would go outside.
Afraid, but like maybe not afraid, but like ugh, you know, completely spewed out. So
Yeah,
he was like, yeah.
they're not a fun bug. But no, we'd go outside and it would be a literal wall of sound.
Yeah. Yeah. So last year was one of the great storms, was it?
It was, I think it was like 3 different cicada, like, breeding cycles lined up at the same time.
Oh, that's rare.
Our Fox, it was the 17-year cicada and they emerged in mass.
Nice. That fascinates me. Not the cicadas themselves, but just the life cycles of some of them, you know?
Yeah.
That's so fascinating. I know we're being super helpful to Storm here.
No, honestly, the conversation is,
Helping you not get too much into your own head.
yeah. And also...
In your head.
Your head.
Cicada, cicada, cicada.
Chirp, 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 chirp.
Wee, wee, wee.
Wee, 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 wee.
For those who've never heard of cicada, if you've ever played a lot of video games or lots of anime, in the summertime, like in the deep summer, there'd be like something like that. That's the cicada noise.
It's kind of
'Cause
like the
they're-
crickets on steroids.
Yes, they are essentially crickets on steroids. They do have a very specific noise, but
Sometimes I
Oh.
heard in the Midwest it gets so bad that people start calling the police.
on cicada nights,
Stop that
That's-
shit! Stop that!
the horrible thing is, I entirely could see that happening. People in the Midwest will call the police for all kinds of stuff that they really shouldn't.
Well, sometimes I think they're going actually insane. Like, I think I'm losing my mind.
Well,
Oh, no,
especially
when
if
I
you
was-
don't... Especially if you don't know what you're listening to.
When I was
Yeah.
in my first apartment, we got the cops called on us for laughing too hard.
Commander Havoc says Persona
Nice.
4 just did away with the background music in the summer sketch in favor of cicada.
Yeah.
They're just like, here, cicada, all the way down.
Well, for the Japanese, it is shorthand for summer. So if you want summer sounds, you throw cicadas up.
Understand. I guess a summer stretch. Sorry, happened.
For me, the cicadas are a little bit weirded up by an SCP that was written about them, and so I'm like, ugh. Like, if anyone knows SCP well enough, then knows what I mean when I say cicada SCPs.
My favorite SCP is the Corgi mass transit system.
That is an amazing SCP. It's just adorable beyond all reason.
Fox's favorite SCP is the IKEA.
The IKEA is pretty great. I want to run a game in the IKEA.
Oh, I saw this. Oh, I'll send it to you for looking stupid later if you want. But I saw this video the other day about a mimic town.
Oh, I saw that short this morning, actually.
The one about for Guild of Destiny, Gorilla of Destiny, or whatever. Yeah,
I don't know about Gorilla of Destiny.
that's the name of the channel.
Ah, okay. Yeah, but he was talking about how he thought of it and was just like, so the mimics died out, but a couple of them
Yes,
survived
yes.
and realized, yeah.
Yes. I'll send it to Storm Song because it's hilarious. There you go. You can watch it later.
You know, when you said Gorilla of Destiny, I can only think of one.
Nullifier said song names, Rick, ignore if unwanted. You can do better than I. Mirror Dance, Grim Interior, Ritual by Moonlight, Feast of the Hall of the Mad Seer. Ooh, I love that one. Dreaming in the Cold, Amidst the Black, Gloom Wailing Vision. Alternatively, Song 27, Opus 41.
There you go. So I like a lot of those because those do match sort of the mental imagery of my own setting. There's a part of me that's actually tempted to call this the Dance of the Spitfires, because Spitfires are like the sort of, they're the mech you train squires on in my setting.
Yeah, so it's like the squires are holding the line until the real knights arrive.
Or the squires are backing up their knight, typically.
Yeah.
Because knights in that setting... Because again, that setting's noble dark, not grim dark. So the knights are actually there up front in the battlefield.
So like they're the hero of the hour, and you know.
And the squires stand nobly beside them, learning how to be proper knights.
Understand.
I am a sucker for the big damn heroes trope.
Right?
Yeah.
There is nothing wrong with a good, overcome all obstacles story. That's
Yeah.
Well, Big Damn Heroes specifically is whenever it's like the hero's in his darkest hour, he's about to finally lose, and then his friends kick down the door and open up a can of whoop ass.
exactly.
Hey, Dad, I'm in stream right now.
Unless they're royally screw up, then they're demoted right back to Squire 1.
Okay, love you, bye.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Sorry about that. My dad phone called me without remembering I was streaming.
Oh no.
Oh, it's
I'm streaming!
Dad! No, my dad's wonderful.
Gandalf at Helm's Deep. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, wasn't there a decision once that if we could, we'd trade Storm Song for Storm Dad?
UNC. That joke's going in the book now.
I love it.
It's like, talk like I'm disappointed and then just gank the joke.
And Kai Harper is right. Gandalf at Helm's Deep is like a great example of Big Damn Heroes moment.
Yeah. Oh, my daughter is making bread, and so I can smell the bread.
That sounds of yum.
Yeah, she's gonna make girl nuts.
Nice. Fox is making homemade burgers tonight. So I started watching an anime this week, which I've been holding off on for a little while. It's the 100 Girlfriends Who Really, 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 Really Love You.
Oh my gosh.
It's actually really good.
Okay, so what's the shtick? Okay, sell it to me.
Okay, so Guy has been turned down like 50 times in middle school, right? He's finally leaving middle school, gets turned down again, and is about to enter high school. And then the God of Love shows up and says, okay, bro, so I made an error and I screwed up.
Oh no.
So the God of Love was watching his favorite soap opera of all time, and actually wrote the 100 rating that he wanted to give the show on the main character's love life sheet. So the main character now has 100 soulmates.
Oh my gosh.
And he was like, oh, well, that's fine. I'll be happy with just any one soulmate. I just want love in my life. And then the God of Love is like, well, the problem with that is, whoever you don't pick, misfortune will befall them and they'll die.
Oh.
And so main character is like, not on my watch, bitch. Every girl is best girl. Let's do this.
Oh god. It's like, okay, you found a way to justify the harem anime. Do what you must, you sicko!
And he's super fucking wholesome about it too. Like every character, like it's not like this girl is actively the primary girl. It's each one gets their own screen time, and he likes them for different reasons, but he likes them all equally. Like it actually plays it extremely wholesome.
There are some interesting historical interestingnesses. Because sometimes that's kind of how it happened.
Yeah, I am. At the very least, I think everybody should give it a three episode watch.
Okay.
But the easy one would be if you like Ouran High School Host Club, you will probably like this show.
So that kind of humor.
Yeah. They made like one of the whole episodes is a Resident Evil reference. Like it's references all the way down. The Tsundere uses the Omae wa shinderu. Did you just try to kill me? That and every time she gets embarrassed, she does a different wrestling move on him. He's like, you have a surprising number of wrestling moves on tap for a high school girl. But it is very fan servicey, fair warning. It does not shy away from the fan service aspect of its genre.
I don't mind a little bit of fan service, to be honest.
It's honestly a lot of it of fan service. It's very fan servicey, but it's also at the same time hanging a lampshade on it. So
Right.
for me at least, it gets a pass.
A little bit of, we know we're crack fixed, so let's just run with it.
Yes. Which that is one of my favorite things is we know what our tropes are, we know what genre is, we are both going to hang a lampshade on it and also shamelessly run with it and crank it up to 11 at the same time.
Is it safe for work? Technically safe for work?
I don't parts of it toe the line, but it should still meet safe for work.
Lacking overt nudity.
Yeah, lacking overt nudity. It definitely lacks overt nudity. Like, worst you're gonna get is panty shots. But it also does not shy away from it at all. But it's approaching it in a lot of ways of making fun of its own genre. Like at the end of one of the episodes, they're like, okay, we need to all go on a date together. It's like, why don't we go to this pool? And the announcer's like, yeah, pool episode, let's go!
Yeah. Really good anime like that, if you get the chance, is Terrified Teacher at a School for Ghouls.
Which... Actually, there's an...
Also, Logic Nullifier is objectively correct. Ooh, woo.
Ooh, woo, indeed.
Two reasons that I like Terrified Teacher at a School for Ghouls, other than it's just absolutely absurd 9 times out of 10. It does that thing where it plays with its own tropes. Like, you have, of course, typically in anime, you have, like, the creepo guy ends up spying on the girls during, the bathhouse episode, and then, gets beaten up for it. Because why would you act like that? And then, but instead, they do the same thing, only they reverse it, so it's the creepy girl, and it ends with the guys all acting very femininely, like, I can't believe you would do this to me, and storming off.
Instead of posing,
Yeah.
So I'd actually say a good way to describe this show would be the harem genre equivalent to The Eminence in Shadow, if you know what that is.
Cannot say that I do.
So The Eminence in Shadow is a anime about a guy who he basically becomes Kick-Ass, but not a wimp. Like his primary weapon is a pair of crowbars.
The character Kick-Ass.
Yes, the character Kick-Ass. Yeah, like he wants himself to be essentially invincible and just go around and beat up bad guys.
Yeah.
And so eventually he realizes that in his world, he will never be strong enough to tank a nuke. It's just not possible in the normal world. So he truck-coons himself so he can get isekai.
This is so dumb. I love it.
Truck Senpai!
So then he's isekai'd into a world, and he's ridiculously powerful, and it's a world with magic. The thing is, he makes shit up all the time of just like, he rescues this one girl from what he thinks are normal bandits, and he's like, I'm here to stop an ancient conspiracy, and he just pulls like the name of the ancient bad guy conspiracy off of stuff that he's seen in the room, off the writing. And the girl that he saves believes him and starts his own conspiracy group of people who work in the shadows to protect the world. But it turns out every time he's bullshitting this, he's 100% correct.
Oh. That kind of reminds me of something like that called Please Dear God, Let Me Retire. Where it's kind of like, it's the opposite of a betrayal manga, where like the guy's like, I want to quit. I'm like, my highest, he's part of a childhood party, and everybody like takes one stat and maxes it out. He did luck. And he's like, I'm not as good as you guys. I want to leave. And they're like, nah, man, you got to be the leader. Like, you're the best. Like, you know always what to do. He's like, no, please.
And eventually the main character becomes so strong with his magic that he figures the best way to tank it, because he still wants to be able to tank a nuke, and now he's got magic. So he figures the best way to tank an atomic bomb is to be an atomic bomb. So his super move is literally, I am atomic.
That's just making me think of the whole I am a torpedo sketch from Bubba 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 Bubba.
I'm a tank, I'm a tank, I'm a tank, I'm a tank, I'm a tank.
Another show in a similar vein would also be Konosuba, which if you don't know what Konosuba is and you haven't watched it, or at least tried to, I understand it not being for everyone's taste. Go fix that, though, if you haven't even tried to watch it. Like, please give it at least the 3-episode rule.
Usually when the main character gets, like, to a certain point of, like, being omni-powerful, I start, like, having a falling out of interest, but I've noticed that there are certain genres that I feel do it right, like One Punch Man and Mashal.
Yeah, Mashal is amazing, and so is One Punch Man.
And there are others too,
Yes.
The thing about One Punch Man is there are other characters that I'd like to see animes that revolve around them. Like, I'd love to see an anime about King.
Yeah. I mean, that's part of what makes One Punch Man so good is the supporting cast. Saitama's thing only works so well because the supporting cast is good enough to carry a show by itself, and then he pulls it up to 11.
I have defeated you by stealing your pantsuit, says Pariah Wolfman.
Oh my god.
Ah, yes, Steel.
We are going to.
That move was so OP.
We are going to pull the dick move in all music. And by dick move, I mean the amazing move. But it's like...
Are you going to do a key change?
I could do a key change. Maybe I should consider that. But for the finale, hit the audience with trumpets. Full trumpet attack.
Whistle?
My ear holes.
Catches you, silly boy.
My
Yeah, Logic Nullifier makes a good point. Saitama is the archetypical straight man in that he's like the most normal character while simultaneously being easily the fix problem button.
We may need to find a new phrase for straight man because sometimes nowadays when you say he's a stereotypical straight man, that's
See, this is why I have to have Whack around for my best jokes, because I can't be the straight man.
Well, yeah.
Where is Mr. Whacker today? Is he just not here today?
Yeah, just the unfortunate kerfluffle of schedule stuff meant that rescheduling the normal program would have thrown stuff up in the air, and I didn't want to like pressure him into being here if he decided to go take a nap or something, because
Understand. He's old man.
I want to take a nap. Oh.
You had your chance, Andy. You had your chance. You wanted to play Baldur's Gate.
Is that a windmill? Can I charge it? No, it's a giant. Oh, poo.
Calm down, Don Quixote.
That'd be an interesting anime, the Don Quixote story. Especially the part where like the young knight challenges him to put him in his place, and then he gets his ass kicked because turns out Don Quixote is actually pretty. What's up?
His girlfriend and his girlfriend,
I just realized Eminence in Shadow could somewhat be described as a modern-day Don Quixote gets himself isekai'd on purpose.
Ooh.
So there's a question. You get isekai'd. You can bring whoever you want with you, so if there's like family you don't want to leave behind or anything, you can bring them with you. You get isekai'd. What world would you want to be isekai'd into?
My first, stereotypical, but my first thought is Harry Potter.
My brain wants me to say Gundam. My brain.
Gundam is a mistake, good sir.
I know. And that's what
Just
I'm
because you like us, just because you like us,
Up
I
in
think doesn't.
Australia in any Gundam series.
Logic Nullifier says heaven? Question mark, heaven? I mean, literally, you're probably, but yeah. Hey, did you?
Cheat? Well, actually, no, this wouldn't be cheating. Stardew Valley.
Oh, yeah. That wouldn't be a bad one.
That'd be pretty good.
Into magic,
Except-
either you have magic or tomorrow isn't your problem. Systematic man.
here's the problem with Stardew, though. Chances are decent that a lot of us are going to be in one of those big cities where JoJo controls a lot of things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, not all of us
Consume.
can have a rich
Right.
grandfather give us their farm. Wait. Oh. Why is it doing one? Okay. Okay. No.
Ooh, Pokemon would be a good one.
Pokemon might be good.
So I just-
1776 by John Boyce. I'll have eternity to do with the miscellaneous crap I never have any interest in.
So I decided to Google just some opinions on what anime would be the best to get isekai'd into. And of course, something degenerate had to say Monster Musume.
Of course. Of course. And the main character for that is very wholesome to them. It's literally all the monster girls.
Yeah, no,
It's just like I just want to live in peace.
I just want hugs and all these girls be thirsty. Which, to be fair, is somewhat in a way its own male fantasy thing. So, grain of
Yeah.
salt.
Okay, Samurai and Digi. Is it a better or worse track record than Mr. Butcher? We're still waiting on the next Dresden.
Uh,
And the next
now I've got to
Windless.
check out the website.
And the next Windless. Because
Did 2 come out yet?
Yes,
Okay, I need to get 2 at some point.
I think 2 came out. Yeah, no, I think 2 came out.
No, Cinder Spires is showing just the first one still.
Just the one. Well, and
Thank-
then the Warrior Born book came out, so we did a short with it.
Yeah.
Doom 2016, don't make me one of the demons. Okay.
Weirdly enough, I think thinking about it, being isekai'd into the Star Wars universe would be very interesting.
Assuming you're not on a planet that blows up, but then again, we could say that about the real world.
Yeah.
And I do not mean to draw upon current events. I'm just saying that's always a reality with our world.
You're right.
Well, that'd be difficult because getting isekai, you get no like.
Alright. I will be right back. I gotta go get burgers.
You get no like Trek and Wars. Okay, Digiman says, you get no real like chance to be like, I want to land here, right?
I think
So
I've only ever seen one isekai that did that.
You could end up in some very sticky situations with Star Wars.
What do you mean I was dropped on Malachor 5?
I mean, you land in the middle of Coruscant with no papers, no chit with
But
your, it's like you can't
Which
sail.
level? Which level
Yeah.
of Coruscant?
Yeah.
That's my question.
Yeah. and at what stage of history and yeah.
Yeah, good point. I feel like KOTOR era to Old Republic level, well, like pre-Clone Wars level Coruscant, you could probably be okay for the
Yeah.
most part. Well, aside from that weird period where the Republic got really war hungry and
It's the cyclical nature of empires.
Yeah.
The rise, fall, get blown up by a giant death laser.
3 times.
Because you could also say the same for Lord of the Rings, because it would be an interesting thing to get isekai into, but it's a very, it'd be very tricky.
Oh, God.
Land in the middle of Coruscant to take you the entire trilogy to find the elevator. Hell yeah.
Yep, not wrong. Not wrong.
What if you're Isekai in Coruscant in the industrial sector? Ooh.
Or in some parts in the alien sector, and you're like, wait, I can't breathe. Oh, I just thought of a good one. Babylon 5. Ex-Jedi Eyes living in the lower set eyes? Probably. Babylon 5 would be also an interesting place to land.
Oh man, my phone.
Is that a... Did you just paste a second in? Or is that... Are those 2 bars next to each other a second or a third?
Third.
Third, okay.
Although now I'm working in the drums, so like we're no longer dealing in tonality here.
Oh, okay. Sure. I like the walk down and the bass. That's nice.
Yeah. Into the drums into that just for simplicity. Obviously, I'm gonna sort of pseudo mix it on stream, but mixing and mastering on stream would be a special level of what the heck. So, my hope is to complete the song and then mix it and master it for future purposes.
Get isekai to sliders, just can't go home whenever. Excuse me.
Now, I do want to note True Cicero's idea of getting dropped into the bottom level of an Imperium hive world. No. Never. No. I'm not even a Warhammer guy. No. I already know.
The problem is Fox execs would still mess with the isekai process. No, we don't want you anymore. We're creating a brother to replace you for half the cost. Ooh. Ooh. Ow. I feel that with B5 too. Fox execs.
I agree, Digiman. The humidity outside is far too high.
Oh no, it's just straight up hot where Digi and I are. Oh, I guess there is pretty high humidity considering.
Yeah, you guys have been getting rain, right?
Yeah, we've been getting microbursts.
Yep, same here.
That's been fun. Wookie's gotten to drive through like 2 or 3 of them. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, that was a different problem. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Well, and GMS had one of the things I absolutely admire about J. Michael Straczynski is, I'm gonna get on a little bit of a soapbox here. That bro had what they call trapdoors for every actor, not for every character, for every actor. If they needed to leave, he had already built in outs for them. And then, if they could come back, he had built in comeback for them.
That's pretty cool.
It was sweet. You saw it with Talia, not Talia, but the redhead. You saw it with the captains. You saw it with a couple of the other people. Yeah. Pat Tallman. Yeah. Okay. I may need to step away for a bit. I need to go decorate a pizza.
All right.
Okay.
Well, thank you for being with us,
I will
Cookie.
be right back. I'll be right back.
Oh, okay, cool.
I just gotta go put some stuff on it, and then they'll cook it. All right.
I return. So, a slight correction. The Olympian Affair, the second book in the Cinder Spirals, did come out on November 7th of 2023. Butcher's website just hasn't been updated properly.
That makes sense. I'll be right back.
So, Logic Nullifier, my problem with One More Day for Spider-Man stories is that it's like the prime example of the fallback plan of reality shits on Spider-Man's day. Which, while compelling, eventually gets tiring.
Let's see. We're just going to give it a listen through for the moment so I can kind of think about what I want to do next with the drums.
Yes, One More Day is also, as Digiman points out, cheap. It's really kind of a cheap retcon. Because this is my problem with a lot of Spider-Man writing, is that writers like to fall back on just making Peter go through the worst stuff possible. It's not. It would be one thing if it were once in a while. It's a valid plot point, but it's basically the most common Spider-Man story beyond the many, many origin stories.
You know, speaking of the of the idea of like Spider-Man doing things later in life. I did enjoy with those the animated Spider-Verse movies, like them showing the different aspects of the different Spider-Verse. Especially then you do have the screw up, like, oh yeah, I got divorced from Mary Jane Spider-Man.
Yeah. But see, the thing I love about Spider-Verse is that it also like challenges that assumption that everything has to go bad for Spider-Man. Which is why those movies are so dang good.
Plus, all three versions of the American-made Spider-Man coming together into one big group. It's like an icon.
Yes.
Only caught a little bit of that.
All three versions of the Spider-Man coming into one big group hug is just great.
You said that, and for some reason, Danny Don't You Know by Ninja Sex Party started playing in my head. Hey, TK!
The only song that I can ever remember properly by Ninja Sex Party is Butt Sex Goldilocks. Let me put my spoon into your porridge chamber, Butt Sex Goldilocks.
They just have a way with titles, don't they? Freaking Danny and Brian.
Indeed.
They are naughty boys.
Hi, back.
Hello, back.
So going back to the Spider-Man thing of me not enjoying the everybody shits on Peter Parker thing. The new movies, the MCU movies, I actually really liked until we got to he rewrites everybody's memories to erase himself. Also, they killed Aunt May, which is a big no-go in my book. Like, no, you don't kill Aunt May. I don't care about the reason.
Who rewrote? I didn't watch. I got up through like Thor Ragnarok. I didn't watch Civil War.
Okay, so spoilers for the most recent Spider-Man movie.
Oh, okay.
The villains from both of the other Spider-Man movie series get pulled into the MCU Spider-Man movie, along with the other two Spider-Men. It's actually a great movie up until the ending consequences of Aunt May dies. She's killed by the Green Goblin from the original movie. And then Peter originally used... So what it was is what triggered it is Peter used the eye thing that Doctor Strange has in order to rewrite reality, so everyone forgets that his identity... Yeah, I have Agamotto. So everyone forgets that his identity was revealed. And at the end, in order to stop Savi, wipes him from everybody's memory rather than just the general public. So both of his friends forget him. Aunt May is dead, and Peter's all alone again. And I really hate that ending.
That's like no. The whole point. No. Undo. No. But then again, to be fair, if it was the same, like the Civil War stuff came from, if I recall correctly, came from Marvel 626 stuff, or some of it did. And so it's like some of that was absolutely brutal. and so they kind of were going with the same stuff, I imagine. But still, ooh,
Yeah.
I don't like that. There's a million other ways to do things.
Yeah, any story that kills Aunt May, you've immediately lost me.
That's almost like the way they killed Chewie in NJO.
Yeah, like hurting Aunt May is fine. It gives motivation. You don't actually kill her.
Right.
I know. Oh, we want to surprise you. No, not everything needs to be a surprise to the audience, and sometimes your surprise turns into just straight dickery.
Yeah.
See the last couple seasons of Game of Thrones.
UNC Samurai is a crossover villain. Well, I didn't know that.
Some crossover villain, 10 out of 10.
That's why he knows so much about crashing boats.
Yeah. But that's the thing. Because I love the rest of that movie so much is part of the reason that the ending pisses me off so much.
Right. Fine line between subverting expectations and just writing a bad movie is called the Ryan Johnson line. Oof. The thing is, creativity is hard. I'll say that. Creativity is hard, but there are some things there has to be hope somewhere. Because if you don't have any hope, even in a grim dark, you get the little candle. There's one little candle left.
Yeah.
Well, so the best way I think to make grimdark work is to have the silly stuff also. It's not so much a hope spot as a silly spot to give you breathing room.
Right.
Stuff like the squats.
Right, like the frog in Magistrata Mundanus. Oh, look, it's a frog. It just keeps reappearing. Anyway. But the worst part of One More Day, the whole reason Aunt May was shot because he announced his secret identity. So the man with great power comes great responsibility sells out to the devil because he refuses to take responsibility for his actions causing harm to others.
Oh, so the most recent Spider-Man movie ends with pulling a One More Day situation, essentially.
Yeah. Well, and that is the problem that a lot of, I don't know. I heard somebody rant about the multiverse and that the multiverse was very difficult because you could not keep consequences.
Yeah.
That consequences can just go hand waved. It's like Star Trek and the time stuff. Like in the books, how you can just be like, oh, this is an alternate universe, this is an alternate timeline, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't. It's not. It messes up your canon, it messes up your character development, and it gives you no long-term consequences. I have stopped watching TV shows because there are no long-term consequences. They just get up and walk, and it's meant to be a drama. It's meant to be okay, this happens, but oh, gee, they get up and walk away, and there's no emotional or physical consequences. You just did X, Y, and Z to yourself, had done to you physically, and oh yeah, tomorrow you wake up and you do the same thing. And that's not...
The best way to deal consequences, I think, when you need some show stasis, is to have the characters have to do another fight to revert those consequences. I'm fine with doing that loop to bring things back, as long as there's effort involved in it.
Well, okay, so recently I was watching the anime I've been going through, Kitaro. They do the episode where the one character sees the end of the world and is given a chance to go back and stop it from happening, but they have to do it, I believe I counted by the end, 27 times. And that's 27 times, with each time taking 2 or 3 weeks, which means this character spends almost a year of their life watching everyone they know get turned into vampires. So there's a cost to her. And then
Yeah, as long as you pay for it. Like,
and then she actually has to go back to before the man she loves said yes to her, and choose not to be there at the moment he would have said yes to her, so that she could
Ooh.
stop it from happening.
ooh, that's a toughie.
And it's like, okay, so they make it hard, but she does save the world at the end, and they leave you with that little bit of hope of like, well, I got him to say yes once, so maybe.
And or eventually, you know, that kind of thing. Unless he's dead, right?
Yeah.
You can still go find him, and it could still be a thing later, right? There's still that sense, right?
Yeah.
Or unless he finds somebody else in the process, but still, it's just, yeah. That story, my preferred way to brighten up the grimdark, adjacent violence, tragedy, and tone is to highlight the few key moments of hope or anything resembling a pleasant interaction between major characters.
Oh, that's another thing with grimdark. Not every character has to be constantly serious and gravelly. Like, the world is already that. Let some characters be pleasant to each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, there's a reason, like, as screwy... Like, if it weren't for certain things, I mean, The Elder Scrolls is actually a fairly dark setting, all things said and done. And that's why characters like Maik the Liar, Sheogorath, etc., they exist, and why I think people are fine with some of the weird-ass bugs.
The Adoring Fan in Oblivion, yeah.
Yeah. Because without that, it would just kind of actually be a miserable world.
Yeah,
I ran into
especially when
this-
you get into the books.
Yeah, I ran into this with the theory crafting for the musical I've been working on, which, okay, so I'm going to take a stop from the music here to explain a rant I normally have and me starting to come around on a thing. Not completely, but starting. Which is, in musicals, there is always a song that I end up hating, and it's because that song usually just diverts completely from the energy of the musical. Sometimes I like this song, and I'll give you an example of this song that's good, is Be Our Guest from Beauty and the Beast.
Right.
Because its purpose, and this is what I kind of finally figured out, is it alleviates a lot of the tension of the more dramatic songs, because by that point, or not just the songs, the story. Because by that point in the story, she's kind of miserable, and things aren't going good. So that gives us an alleviation. Now, an example of where this absolutely sucks, and I know Rail and Andy have heard me go off on this before, is A Guy Like You from Hunchback of Notre Dame. I fucking detest that song, and I still do. However,
I mean, anything involving the gargoyles in that movie can die in a fire.
But I have come to understand, of course, that it is important to have something like that in a musical because, or in anything, because it breaks apart the extremity. And then it hit me. You know what's, I don't know that this is statistically the musical that has the most, but in my experience, do you know what musical has the most of those kind of songs? The ones that are, like, unnecessarily happy or kind of out of character. I'll give everyone a guess.
I don't think this is going to be the answer, but because it's the one, like, recent musical I can think of, Hamilton.
No, Hamilton only has one that I know of. Any other takers?
I'm just waiting for the answer.
Okay. And it'll make perfect sense once I say it. Sweeney Todd.
Yeah, but
Because the only way you're going to make people sit down for something about a serial killer who turns people into meat pies is by having an unusual number of the songs be happy, albeit psychotic. But a lot of those songs are unnecessarily happy.
That's fair.
Cats is another issue all in and of itself.
Oh, God.
Wait, what is?
Cats.
Oh, Cats.
Oh,
Like,
God, Cats.
I'll be honest, I haven't been able to make myself sit through Cats long enough to know what it counts as.
I have
It's
just
not
heard.
worth it.
I have just heard about it. I haven't seen it, but I've heard enough from a lot of people who I trust with musical theater, you know, stripes.
So, I come from a family who's big in musicals. There was a point in my life I could sing the entirety of Newsies in one go.
Newsies is amazing.
Newsies is great. I could even do the accent. I can't do it anymore. But We watched Cats, and it's never been actually good. Cats has never deserved the hype it's got.
I think it got the hype it did because it had famous people in it. I mean, it's almost Emperor's New Clothes. It's like I like
had
it because I'm supposed to like it, and it has famous people in it.
Yeah, it has famous people in it and shock value.
I think McCavity might be okay, but
Okay, Samurai has a valid point. I can't hate Cats too much because that would take away from my directing my hate towards Rent. And yes, Cats is mid at best. Rent is actually bad.
Rent has the audacity to tell you you're supposed to sympathize with these people and like them, and then just make a bunch of horrible people.
Yeah, and no redeeming qualities.
And no consequences.
Yeah.
that goes back to that again. I think that's part of the thing with Cats, though, is that it's so disconnected. It's kind of like showcase is what I've heard. You know, it's like this piece, this piece, this piece. They don't really, other than, aha, this is this highlight on this cat, highlight on this cat.
I'm gonna offend a couple of musicals nerds. I don't care for Phantom of the Opera.
Okay, so I am actually going to defend you on that one, even as a fan of Phantom of the Opera, because it's a gateway drug to musicals.
Fair.
But when you actually get really experienced in musicals, it's not great.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, also, like,
musicals.
Like, I fucking love Hamilton. I'm one of those people. I have no shame about it. It's good. It's fun. I know it's not historically accurate. In many ways, it's not meant to be.
I haven't seen a lot of musicals partially because of my growing up and partially just because I just haven't had the chance to. And because my ADHD, I can't sit through some, screen stuff sometimes. But I absolutely love Moulin Rouge.
Oh yeah.
Fucking love Moulin Rouge. Yes.
Like, I sing Moulin Rouge. My poor kids, when they were little, I used to sing, your song, that version of your song to them all the time.
Yes. No, I still have parody songs of some of the stuff from Moulin. Like even today, I had the "My Gift Is My Song" opening bit in my head.
Yeah, I love that song.
We had an improv class, and there was another guy I would hang out with, and I knew he was big into musicals too. And I just ran into the middle of the class at one point and sang out to him, "We should be lovers," and then he just looks at me horrified. We can't do that.
But yeah, no, the "My Gift Is My Song" thing, I don't know why, but it pops into my head all the time whenever I'm doing something for fun.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of the episodes of this show I'm about to mention aren't very good, but the Moulin Rouge episode of Nostalgia Critic is actually really good. Mostly because Brental Floss and Nostalgia Chick are in it and are selling that show so hard because it's great.
The other one I used to sing all the time was Zorro.
I have never actually watched Zorro.
I want to spend my lifetime in love.
Trying to think of other musicals that I've watched.
Epic. We need to watch Epic, and we need to watch Beetlejuice.
Oh, I've heard
really
Epic
need
was
to.
amazing.
Epic was amazing.
I've heard that.
So
I've heard
Storm
that.
is suggesting Epic. I do really want to watch the Beetlejuice musical. I have no interest in Wicked as a musical.
Ben says I just got done watching the producers.
On principle of toxic people.
Hello, background Fox.
Seen Wicked live.
So I don't think I've ever actually watched the musical for it. but I watched the movie, and because my mom was obsessed with the movie, Chicago.
Oh, Chicago was good. I liked the movie anyway. Chicago
Yeah.
was good. That was another one I used to sing all the time.
Yeah.
She had it coming. She had it coming.
What's the one I'm thinking of? It's the one where all the songs are by ABBA. What is the name of that?
I know what you're talking about. Shit.
Mamma Mia. There we go.
Yes.
Mamma Mia.
Money,
Here I go
money,
again.
money.
The fan base for Wicked the Musical is Knucking Butts, says Nermetron.
Yeah. I'm actually now just looking down a list of musicals.
Yeah.
Apparently there's an Addams Family musical
Oh, yeah.
for Fox and Smash.
Harry Potter musical is touring the U.S.
Have you ever seen a Very Potter musical?
Or where she's a kid.
Say, how cool is that? His sister plays the Flying Dementor.
Oh no, another. I don't know if it counts as a musical. It's a Broadway show, at least. Spam-A-Lot.
I have not seen it, but I have heard about it.
Apparently, All Dogs Go to Heaven 1 and 2 both count as musicals.
Yeah, those are musicals.
There's music in them.
One my mom listened to a lot as a kid was Evita.
Ooh, yeah.
Gypsy Rose.
Fox suggests Gypsy Rose, which I don't know, but she says is good.
Well, I grew up on. Well, take that back. I did get to go to some musicals, but they were some of the older ones, like Guys and Dolls and what was the other one? I can't remember, but you know that whole genre of the old stuff. And my parents were like, "Yeah, we're gonna go to a musical."
Oh, both American Tail movies are also musicals.
All dogs. Do all dogs go to heaven? I've met some spiteful dogs. It's Logic Nullifier.
There are no bad dogs, there are only bad owners. All dogs go to heaven.
Some dogs go to Valhalla.
Yes!
There you go.
Or Stovacor, as the case may be.
For the most part, you're right, Rail, but there are some chihuahuas that just, I'm sorry.
Again, those ones go to Valhalla.
Angy little boys. Angy.
Yeah, that's because so the thing with small dogs is they have all the emotions and instincts of the big dog packed into a smaller package.
Phenomenal power.
Okay, I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back. Entertain the chat.
Here's a good one, Anastasia.
Anastasia was good.
Oh yeah.
Check out Rasputin's song from Anastasia done in metal. At some point, there's a metal cover of it that's really good. Oh, every version of Annie.
Yeah.
The Aristocats.
Aristocats is amazing. I love the Aristocats.
Most of the movie is meh, but the songs are all pretty dang good.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the movie is kind of just, you know.
A vehicle for songs.
Yeah, I think.
It's like, how do
and
we
also-
connect all these? Oh God,
Oh,
Avenue
Dr.
Q.
Why have we not mentioned Dr. Horrible?
Oh, right.
Oh, Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog. Yes.
Dr.
Dr.
Horrible was pretty good.
Not at all a
Dr.
bad
Horrible
choice.
is amazing.
Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog is how I found out about Neil Patrick Harris.
Dr. Horrible is here, make you disappear. Yeah.
Stop, hey everyone, nothing here to see. Just imminent danger in the middle of it, me. Yes.
I'm one of these days I'm gonna get Parallax and me in a room, and we're gonna do the do the.
Honestly, so for those who don't know, once in a while the BPL has gotten together and done various play. The big one that I remember is Scrooge. We did Scrooge at one point.
Yeah.
And this is something that's mostly done internal. I don't know if a recording of it got to the aux or not.
I think it did.
I know
I
that
would not be
That one
surprised if
and
it did.
Macbeth and what was the other one we did? We did one other big. Anyway, yeah.
But no, I would love to have the BPL does Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog.
Oh.
I would be Bad
With
Horse.
Squick as Dr. Horrible.
Like, I know I wouldn't sing it all during it, but I would be Bad Horse.
Yes, you would be Bad Horse. That's a shoe-in.
Ha ha! The joke was made.
It wasn't even intentional. All right, Fezzy, I'll put you on my mental list. Logic Nullifier will play the role of the silent audience. Hey, Black Hammer. We're talking about musicals.
Yes. I do like that the conversation ended up looping back, because most of the stream is supposed to be Storm writing music, and we did end up talking about music in the form of musicals.
Well, it's like when Parallax is painting. He only goes so much over his technique. A lot of times it's just... it's an excuse to also talk with each other while... you know.
I mean, you don't need to explain to me, dude. I'm well aware that, like, half the reason people come to my streams is to listen to me, you, Andy, and Whacker talk shit at each other.
That's fair.
That's absolutely fair.
Shit.
I know what I'm about.
Fez Barrett says favorite is still Les Mis.
I'm predicting
I'm
entertainment
torn
that
on my
Mario's
wrist.
game whacker.
I've read the book.
Oh, this is one I forget about, that it exists sometimes, and then it pops back into my head. The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas. I saw that when I was a kid and didn't understand
mean the
until much
movie?
later.
Yeah. You mean the actual Broadway play?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. There's at least 3 versions of Les Mis that are all very different. There's the book, the play, and the movie.
See,
Because
there's
look,
parts of the movie that I love, though. Like I'm like, the delivery is so fun.
Yeah. So, JD's and Lentilman, we are going to give this a heckin' listen through now, from beginning to end.
All right, let's do it.
I shall silence myself.
And, oh wait, no, I forgot one thing, so keep talking for a minute.
Okay.
Wah, wah,
Oh,
wah.
no, never mind. My voice returned.
All right.
1 second while I...
True Cicero is putting emotes in chat. Thank you, True Cicero. One of these days, I'm just randomly going to hit the emote only switch and watch you all flail. just for the fish.
Why not now?
Because
Honestly,
I've announced it.
Hit it now and leave it on for WBPLW and see how long it takes them to figure.
WBPL. No, we don't fuck with WBPL. That's our baby.
That's fair. That's fair.
Okay. Let me just double check something.
That's our baby.
Okay. All right. From the top then, and I'm actually going to give it the grace note there. So. All right. Wait, sorry. I know I keep stopping in. Imagine a mech fighting other mechs and just let your own anime intro play out in your head. Okay, now.
Welcome back. How'd it go?
Oh.
There we go.
Okay. So, number one, pro tip for this song, if ever anybody who's listening to it later, crank the volume.
Yeah,
It's definitely something.
until it's mastered, it's going to be a little quiet on this end.
Yeah. Second, if you want it to be mech themed, I feel like it needs a little bit more, for lack of a better term I can think of, I can't think of the right word, but like a metal noise.
Like industrial?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
because I'm still getting the heavy Castlevania vibes, and that's throwing me off a little.
Mm-hmm. Well, and maybe it's not a mech song. I mean, like I said, it's just my native instincts are Gundam and SNES music. So
Yeah, no. Like the everything else is, it needs just that little bit more to push it into the mech genre, and it would be perfect.
Yeah. So
like it's great. This is not complaints. This is good. What can we do to push it over the edge?
Yeah.
Very SNES. Very good song. Getting the Castlevania with Gabriel Knight's Sins of the Fathers. Yeah.
Okay. So
that's what chat's saying. I love it. I love the
quantum fiber.
There was a point in the middle where you kind of had a pause, and then you kind of bounce back into it, and a little bit of I love it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Sawa no drop.
Yeah.
So, okay, so then I am going to work on that on my own time a little bit. It's basically done-ish, like a few more passes. And I'm going to master that. So I'm going to reveal my other intent for this. Every now and then I'm going to be doing one of these streams. Lady Red is doing some more artwork for WBPL stuff, and I'm not going to talk too much about that because that's for her to reveal. But it hit me, well, if we're doing some branding stuff, why not create theme songs that people can use for different kinds of streams?
Nice.
Ooh.
So I'm thinking this might be retro gaming.
Honestly, the stuff Aiden's been playing lately, this would be perfect for.
The blood-stained and blood. Yeah, I am vampire. Hear me roar. Yeah.
The Castlevania-like stuff. To be fair.
Yeah. Okay. Well. Thank you all for coming today. Oh yeah, I did, for the aborted teacher stream, I did come up with a few memes that I wanted to, at the very least, share with Cookie and get her responses from.
Okay, all right, let's do it.
Here we go.
Okay, let's change. I just need to go from. All right, so there is my desktop again, but this time I'm actually streaming desktop and not the. Oh wait, no.
No, paint.
Haha!
There are no bad kids.
Oh, yeah, classroom challenges.
That's
Yeah, you talk to parents, don't you? Haha. My first grid is finding out I don't actually live with. I know. My preschoolers are like, "Where you sleep? Where you sleep?" And I'm like, "No, I sleep at home with my family."
Yep.
Oh, you don't get how to do it? Let me explain it the same way I explained it the last time. Yeah.
Yeah, that one as a college teacher,
Tell me more about what I Ooh, I don't have to deal with that one, but
yeah,
yes,
because yours are so little that yeah.
yes, ooh, yeah.
How many of that did you get, Storm?
One or
Just
two.
one?
Across the classes I've taught, I only ever get like 1 or 2.
Yay! I know. Oh, I had a little one. I have a story. I had a little one who was having an extremely challenging time with self-regulation,
Yeah.
and I caught him a couple times going deep breath, and I was like, "Yeah!" That was that exact.
Once they
that was
start
like
figuring it out, yep.
inside. I didn't do it outside because I didn't want to stop him from doing it. But
Yep.
When they internalize the lessons.
This one.
Fez says the first time one of his kids saw him at Target, they lost their shit.
Yes.
Me trying to decipher my students' handwriting.
So, considering the kind of classes you teach, why is anybody handwriting anything?
So during one of the early tests, and I was still very new at teaching at this point, so I kind of didn't realize that I could basically throw essay writing out the window because I teach a workshop class. Because, you know, when you follow these, hey, you're new to teaching, here's a how-to manual. But I was doing it for a game design sound tracking course, like music for game design and such, and I did want to test them on some concepts, so I asked them to, you know, write about a piece of music that, you know, inspired them that they like, and here's why, and how it worked with that video game, etc. And one of them turned in this really thoughtful essay, really well written out, really well researched, like all of the ideas, except this 3-page essay was 1 paragraph.
What?
Oh man!
And about
What the hell?
And on each page, at size 12 font, normal spacing, there was about 15 sentences. Now I want you to stop and think about that for a minute. It was all compound sentences.
You got crit text walled, man.
I have had students use emojis in their essay writing.
Did you? Well, that's one of the things that they actually talked about at or that I'm going through some of my training. So they're like, we have got to teach kids how to write better. We've got to.
Yep. And of course, like, on some level, it's like, I'm a college teacher, so I'm expecting better, but they're also engineering students, so...
Yeah.
They should know better.
Seriously, just ask if you have to write complete sentence. Yeah. For me, it's not so much their writing, but it's their drawing, you know, and you look at it and you go, oh, that's lovely, you know.
Yep.
And recommended amount of coffee for teachers, yes. And then at night, it's the red wine. That's the trope, right?
All right. Well, thank you all for coming, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for listening to me write things. Thank you all, my co-hosts. Next week, we'll resume our normal Star Wars streams. Anything to say before we go?
Stick around, folks. In about an hour, we'll have Rassle, and you don't want to miss that. We appreciate you hanging out, and yeah, take care of yourselves.
Be good to each other. Stay safe. Be good, or if you're not going to, be good at it. And don't
remember, horse glue tastes the best.
Silence.
These prices.
Don't you
Stay safe
dare.
and have a beautiful time, everybody.
Chocobo bacon is the best bacon!